In this video, we're going to talk about the physiological response to trading. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, so when we're trading, things happen to our body without our control. Bear with me. This is our physiological response to trading. Now, a study was done and they had a group of seasoned traders, they had a group of brand new traders or members of the public, and they basically put them under conditions of financial risk. And the response, and they kind of wired them up to brain monitoring devices, blood pressure things, all the kind of things that, sweat, all the kind of things that you can monitor, I guess, from a scientific perspective. And they found that the experienced traders were had a much more dampened physiological response than newer traders. So in other words, the heart rate wasn't elevated, they weren't kind of sweating, there was no kind of excess blood flow to the brain, all the kind of things that come with the fight or flight. I guess, maybe I'm being a little bit broad with it, but I'm not really a scientist, kind of mental response. So all the things that you would expect the body to do. And I thought that was really interesting, because if you think as a new trader or as a beginner, if every time you're placing yourself under financial risk, your heart rate's been increasing, you get a squirt of adrenaline in the body, maybe you're sweating a little bit more, maybe the blood flowing to specific areas of the brain, it's very difficult to make a cool, calm, logical decision. And it got me thinking about this. And actually, going back to another study, and I couldn't find it, but I have to dig it out, where they showed that people, under those conditions, certain physiological conditions, were making decisions with different parts of their brain. So in actual fact, it's impossible, almost impossible, to make a clear decision when you kind of trigger this mode in your body. When your body goes into some sort of certain mode, it moves the decision making to a different part of the brain. And again, it's that kind of fight or flight. It's, hey, I need to make an instant decision now. Am I fighting? Am I running away? And the same thing with trading. So you can't analyze the condition not more clearly. And I guess it's the same with soldiers and what have you in the battlefield, is that they condition themselves to make the logical decision. And why you've got generals and stuff out of the kind of bombardment of all the stimulus, making the actual broader decisions. But anyway, back to trading. So how does this relate to you? So if you think about yourself and how you perform in trading, when you start to trade, do you feel nervous? Do you feel like there's a difference in the change in your body? Are you feeling, hand getting sweaty on the mouse? Is your heart rate pumping a little bit faster? If that's happening, then you need to be careful, because you've got to get to a point in trading where that's not happening. Now, again, this is going from my own experiences, and I'm not a scientist by this, but one thing I noticed with my own trading is when I was trading comfortably and trading with a size that was very, very comfortable for me, I wouldn't get an elevated heart rate, nothing would happen. But when I started increasing my size to a specific amount, then that's when this would happen and my results would change, because I would have an issue where my results were very good, and then when I stepped up the size, they were okay. When I stepped up again, my results almost just went to pot. Something was happening where the size became too meaningful for me. And this is when this initial article came out. I always thought, okay, well, actually what's happened is I've changed the area of my brain, the decision-making processes. So in actual fact, what I've got to do is I've got to go to the level that I'm uncomfortable with and back off the size until I get to just the point where that's not triggered and I'm still trading with the kind of analytical aspect of my mind. And of course, for brand new traders, that may mean going from a demo to trading a very small size as soon as you put real money in. And I know that's true because you can see people, and obviously a demo, there's other things why people are demo geniuses and go to real money. But as soon as they step to real money, they trade completely differently. And so this is why. This is an unusual topic, guys. And let me know your comments in the comment section below, your thoughts in the comment section below, should I say. And a thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. But I actually think that, understanding how we react subconsciously to trading, risk, all this kind of stuff is a key to actually harnessing our power, as opposed to just letting ourselves go crazy. Another thing might be, if you think, how many times have you ever been in a situation where you've not honored a stop? I've put my hands up to this. I've done this before in my early years as well. I've not honored a stop, and then you're stuck. you're stuck like a deer in headlights, and for whatever reason you can't kind of get yourself to pull that trigger and get out of the position. And it's a weird thing, and you look back and say, why was that situation? It all comes down to your body's natural response. And actually, if I just dive over here, while on the subject, I wasn't going to talk about this, but this is a great opportunity to tell you about this book, and I've talked about it before. We can see that one there. Really, really good book. Nothing to do with trading, but it's about mind management. It's talking about your inner chimp. So actually, this is really has a lot of kind of synergy with this, what I'm talking about here, where you get to the point where it's your chimp making the decision for you rather than your actual analytical brain. I can't remember what he calls it, the machine or the computer, worth a look anyway. Then your decision making process is impaired, and it's different. Now, it's not necessarily impaired, but it's good for the situation that it perceives you're in. If you're in a dangerous situation, it wants you to be full of adrenaline, ready to go. That just makes sense from an evolution perspective. But from a trading perspective, that's the very last thing you want. So you don't want to be in that situation. And so, going back to the initial point, the more seasoned you are as a trader, the more experienced you are as a trader, you're going to become more familiar with the risk. The risk is not going to be an issue. You're going to be able to increase your size. You're going to be familiar with losing money, making money. Just as, okay, using that analogy again with a soldier on the battlefield, I'm not comparing, please don't, traders to soldiers, but the kind of stimulus they have, gunshots, firing, lots of noise, lots of, the environment, the heat. The guys that have been doing several tours are going to be a lot more seasoned to it and a lot less concerned to it than kind of someone just coming fresh from training or whatever it may be. So similar kind of thing here with trading, the physiological response, just being aware of it. We don't have to delve too deep into it as traders, but just being aware that, we can flick into a different mode. And if we're in that mode, just scientifically, it's proven that we're trading from a different part of the brain. So just trying to keep it as cool and as calm as possible. And just one final thing before I end the video, guys, is if you can add things that reduce the cognitive load for you, so you can add things that filter out trades, that make the decision-making process easy, then you're going to bring the barrier higher and higher and higher. Because the more load you'll put under, the more stress, you might end up triggering this kind of mode of trading from chimp level, as opposed to, the calm level. So adding, letting computers take the strain for filtering, for taking in trades, for taking out trades, whatever it may be, can help kind of reduce this physiological response or adverse physiological response to trading and keeping it exactly where you want it to be. Anyway, guys, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet already. Good trading. I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.